Ayoung Chee, and I am a fashion designer, social entrepreneur, and innovation consultant.
Hello, my name is Melissa Simon-Hartman, and I'm an artist, costume, and fashion designer.
Okay, hey Anya. So what do you think is the biggest mistake that designers make? And are there any mistakes that we've learned from yourself?
Yes, I do think one of the biggest mistakes is obviously there are many mistakes that can be made. But I think, the biggest mistake I have made in my past is trying to design to impress someone else, which almost inevitably ends up being away from my personal aesthetic, away from my vision, because at the very end of the project one day, I got very overwhelmed by the possibility that I could actually win this really finale challenge. And for some reason I started designing very sleek, very dark, very New York. We're in New York, so I felt like that's what the designers, that's what the judges wanted, that's what was going to help me to win. And I could not let it more wrong. It was a complete failure. And it was actually Nina Garcia, who was the judge at the time, who said to me, Anya, you're the only Caribbean designer up there. You have to be yourself. And that has not only resonated with me as a designer, it has resonated with me moving forward since that moment in everything that I do. That actually my authentic voice is the best possible voice I could have. And anytime I meet a young designer, an emerging designer, that's what I say to them, that always do the work to identify who you are, what you have to say. That is going to be your biggest possible chance of any kind of success. And of course, it's also where your joy comes from. Is that expression of, because for me, fashion is really a form of self-expression beyond the discipline of design and so on. So, authenticity, I think. And a lack of authenticity, therefore, I think is the biggest mistake for me. Thank you for that great question. So I would like to know, what kind of responsibility, if any, do you feel from your creating?
So I'm actually going to echo that same word, authenticity. And the reason why I would say is, as artists, the way we communicate with the world is through our creations. So we have to be authentic, we have to be truthful, because this is us communicating our emotions, it's us communicating, things that inspire us, anything that we are trying to translate, if it's not true, it's going to tell. We don't want it to look contrived, we don't want it to look superficial, so I think it's my duty to just remain my authentic self, which is exactly what I did. But it's the truth,
there's that big saying, there's only one you, everyone else is taken.
Yeah.
It's really, in this particular industry, I think it's even more obvious, because you're literally pouring yourself out into, well, I guess in any creative industry, but certainly that's how I feel like.
Yes.
Well, it's like,
I had the honor of meeting with Peter Mitchell 8 years ago when I was last here. And I couldn't believe he had actually looked at my work, and seen my work.
He sent your work to me.
Did he?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You're joking.
He loves you.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I didn't even know what you just done there. Oh.
I'm sure I can send you the emails he sends me, things that he loves, things that inspire him, which of course is such a privilege for me as well. But you're definitely one of the best.
Oh, that means a lot. I realized when you joined, if it was him or someone representing him, when you joined Instagram, that was one of the first people you followed. That means everything to me. I'm going to take that away with me. That's beautiful. But when you said to me, when I see your work, I see integrity. And that's something I've always come on to, and it's something that I'm going to continue to honor, because hearing that from someone, it's like it's a win short, it's for everything. So,
wow, look at that.
My hair is going to be too big to know when that. She loves me.
Very well deserved, but I can verify that 100%.
Oh, that's amazing.
Love for what you do, and I think you're right. I think it comes from, when you see it, you know it. When you see it, you know that someone has taken courage to continuously find the courage to show up as themselves. And I don't think that is easy. You know, it's much easier to kind of slide into what is more popular, what is more sort of commercially viable. It's much harder to stand up with your own voice, but it shows.
Okay, sounds good. You showed me around school, and I am so impressed with what you're doing. You know, it's a unique structure that you have here, you know, and I think it's a platform that's going to create so many opportunities for mentoring that. And you've got to be proud of yourself, because it's pretty amazing what you're doing. What actually led you to create school? What was it that made you think you need a school which you know?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying all of that, and of course I can't take remotely all of the credit. Hassani and I, as you know, we met. Hassani was co-founder of school, and together we've also been very privileged to have a great team and a growing team of, which we specifically refer to school as a community. And I think because I have a background that does not formal training in fashion design, I've always seen the value, and we all do, but I particularly needed my seamstresses, I needed their expertise. Like, I couldn't do it, you know, and I have maintained, even though I found a way to get through Project Runway, somehow I'm much prepared to be on the design side. You know, I think having a background in construction only makes your design better, but I really value the skill of garment construction, and I think that coupled with my experience of I have a foundation called Together. We were a group of creatives who were addressing social issues through a variety of different creative outlets, and we had a very successful campaign called Leave Shame that was a national event. So in the process of doing this anti-gender-based violence campaign, I realized that as successful as it was, I didn't feel that the impact was tangible enough. And doing that work uncovered for me how many women suffer from the vulnerabilities that a lack of financial stability causes. And so I wanted to find a way to bridge my fashion background with this love for working with women in an empowerment way, specifically in a tangible way. I just personally feel like because I experienced this, once I'm financially stable, I'm in a much more empowered position, you know. And so that's why we came together with both the desire to bring manufacturing of particularly Chronicle as much of it back to Trinidad, which of course is something that Sandy feels very strongly about, being co-founder of Simon-Hartman and grew up with them. And then, but really bridging it with the at-risk community of women that we feel would benefit from sustainable livelihood. So that's where the model is unique, in the sense that it's not just about training, it's not just about production, it's not just about manufacturing. It really is deeply about building sustainable livelihoods, supporting women in ways that go beyond the work itself.
Amazing. Well done.
Thank you very much. We're very proud. And mostly when you see the impact on your community, you know, it's palpable. And it affects all of us. It affects the instructors, it affects the team. It's contagious. So we really do think that it's beyond us, it's bigger than us at this stage.
And I can tell you've got a great team as well, isn't it?
Yes, very person. You have both Trinidadian and Ghanaian heritage. I'm wondering how that cultural mix has affected your thinking about your work. And do you ever find yourself leaning more into the traditions or influence of one over the other?
Good question. I would say, I've mentioned this in interviews before, that my heritage plays an imperative role when it comes to my sources of inspiration. Everything that I do has got something to do with my heritage. It's either going to have something to do with African tradition or Caribbean tradition. And it's not necessarily because I'm intentionally doing that. It just happens. So I may create something, not knowing what I'm creating, which I started doing. I haven't been drawing all my sketches out recently. I've just been going straight to production. Just going straight to production and seeing which direction it takes me in. And then I've noticed after completing the piece that it really relates to something historical or from tradition without even knowing that. And then I'll research further. And I somehow feel that that is my spiritual relationship with my father, who is now my ancestor.
Wow.
You know, I feel like that's the way we communicate, because he had a keen eye for fashion, he loved fashion, you know, and he used to style people as well. And even though I lost him at a young age at 6, I was 6, we were extremely close.
Wow.
And I feel like that's the sort of bond we still have,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what keeps me going. So if I was to say lean towards, when I'm completely honest, I would say maybe the Ghanaian side gives some prominence in my aesthetic. But there are so many similarities and parallels with Trini culture and Ghanaian culture that to me, you know,
polarized.
Exactly. So you really can say, yeah, you can really say there's a balance, you know. But I'm extremely proud of my. I said to my mother, thank you so much for, you know, birthing me with a Ghanaian father, you know, because I love the fact that I'm not Ghanaian and I'm Trinidadian because the cultures are so rich, you know.
It's like more is more is more.
More is more. So every time I get the opportunity to mention where I'm from, you know, I'm like, yes, I'm not the bull, but I'm half Trinidadian, I'm Ghanaian, you know. And I'm just glad that I can just show that pride and communicate my pride through my work.
Yeah.
You know, that's what my art is doing, is just communicating how proud I am of my heritage.
Yeah, we have that in common for sure. Yes. It's a gift, and I, you know, because I lost one of my brothers died, like when I was young, and he was young. I just said this to someone yesterday that my experience of our relationship exponentially loosened after he died.
Right.
You know, which I guess doesn't make any sense, you know, like logically, but certainly I
You have to experience it
Yes,
to understand it, and I do understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I feel like every time I'm creating, I am communicating.
You're channeling.
Yes, channeling, definitely.
One question that I'm talking about to the two of you. If you could select, you have a time capsule, and you can select 3 Caribbean designers, carnival or fashion, to put in the time capsule, who are you picking? I'm going to start with Anya because I know you're tired.
It's not really fair because I got, we're gonna have similar ones.
We're gonna similar ones,
Yeah.
which means I'll have one of them.
I mean, obviously, people mentioned. I mean, one, the most inimitable of the carnival. And I won't even call him a carnival designer. It goes so much beyond that, you know. I think Ashley and Camps is a really, really incredible example of, again, it's being true to yourself and coming from an engineering background. And now she's gone down this road of deep, it's really unprecedented how she's doing what she's doing. And then on top of that, the aesthetic is just speaks for itself. So, and then thirdly, I'm going to throw it to you because I want to think of it.
So I would say May Barkley as well. Peter Mitchell is definite. That goes without saying what you've already said. So I would say May Barkley. I feel like May Barkley's work is timeless. You know, when you look at the designs, it would still stand and hold its own right now.
And at the time was also very boundary pushing.
Exactly. Definitely a visionary.
Yeah.
So I would choose him. And for my third, if I'm thinking of current, I am a big fan of Queen Noel. There is an understated luxury with her pieces, and you just know it's her. She has a very distinctive style, and it screams, even though she's based in the US, it does scream Caribbean. You know, yes. So I would say, oh gosh, there's so many, no? No, yes, I'll leave it there, yes.
Yeah, I think it's really good that because once you open that,
Yes, there's so many people I want to mention, but yes. Yeah.
I think we have it.
Yeah.
I don't have my next segment either.
No.
I was thinking about that after.
Yeah,
It's around. Amazing.
The biggest mistake I have learned for myself was actually, you know, very challenging moment for me at the
Nice. I'm keeping that. For me. I'm so
Hi,
sorry.
Sally. I will say hello.
Hi.